kicking is a weakness for you, you've come to the right place. Now, whether you're trying to kick across the pool and you stall out like this, or you're trying to kick and it's making you way too tired and you feel like this, we're gonna change that right now. I've worked with hundreds of swimmers and these fixes, they work every time. This is gonna be a kicking masterclass. I'm Lukas Siska, welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. For those of you, when you kick across the pool and you stall out, what is actually happening causing you to be that way? Well, let me explain. Most of the time, people who have the stall out problem, it's because they have stiff, rigid ankles. When you kick like this, pretend this is my leg right here, and you have a 90-degree angle on your ankles and you kick down, it's just literally pulling you backwards. Guys, we have to fix this. You have to have a floppy motion like this, and we have to kick from the hip, and I'll get into that in just a minute. Now, if you're swimming and you're getting way too tired because of the kick, most likely you're over kicking and also kicking from the knee. Again, we have to kick from the hip, and we're gonna talk about that right now. So many times though, and I've seen in my comments, anytime I mention kick from the hip, people say, I've heard this all the time. What actually does that mean? Don't fret guys, we're gonna explain it so simply that you won't be able to not understand it. First of all, you need to imagine that when you're kicking, and you're kicking from the hip, that you have gum stuck on the bottom of your shoe and you're trying to kick it off. You're trying to kick it off just like this. Get that gum off, all right? We're gonna take that into the water, but before we do, I wanna show you the motion of kicking from the hip on land first. So what does kicking from the hip not mean? Well, the biggest thing it doesn't mean is don't kick from the knees. Everybody who comes from a non-swimming background, they try to kick from the knees and they're kicking like this, all right? So if we do it here on land first, it's good to practice being in that water position. And imagine, look, I can't even kick from the knees here because it just ruins everything. But if I get in streamline position, straighten my legs and kick from the hip, I can easily do it. You want to memorize this motion because this is what we're going to take into the water. It's so important to understand what this hip kicking means because it is the initiation of the kick. So now let's look at what I just demonstrated on land in the water, but this time I'm gonna lean against the wall and you're gonna see the difference between the knee kick and the hip kick.
Let me show you in the water what it means to kick from the hip. See, I'm pointing to the hip because that's where we're gonna initiate this kick. Now the knees bend a little bit, but nothing compared to what I'm about to show you when we kick from the knee. Here's the wrong way. Now look at this, it's like bicycling in the water. The movement is initiated from the knees and you're gonna go nowhere like this.
Now that we understand what kicking from the hip means, and we will get into the technique of executing in the water, don't you worry, it's not gonna do us any good if we still have those stiff, rigid ankles that I mentioned before. Guys, everybody can fix this, it's not a problem, and you can do it just for a few minutes every single day, and that is of course increasing your ankle flexibility. Because we need that when we kick from the hip, we need it to whip and we need that ankle to ricochet like this. So again, let me show you what that means. If you have stiff, rigid ankles and you kick from the hip, it's gonna be like this. There's no propulsion happening from that ankle. But if you have them floppy, look, I'm kicking from the hip and there's a ricochet. That's what we want in the water because that little movement right there is going to cause propulsion. And I'll show you a quick ankle routine, mobility routine at the end of the video so you know exactly what to do. Now this kicking progression I've used hundreds of times and it works every single time, but it's really important that you master one thing before you move on to the next thing. So the first thing is to generate propulsion from those floppy ankles by doing what I call the bubbling brook drill.
With this drill, we just want to lean against the wall and focus on trying to create a bubbling brook. As you can see, surfacing right here, we're kicking under the water, flicking our ankle so that those bubbles come right up. We're actually not physically breaking the surface of the water with our feet. That's the pressure from our propulsion coming off of our feet, creating that bubbling brook. And you can alternate doing single leg and then going to double. The goal is to just push that water.
So now the next step is we're gonna go on the wall, we're gonna flip over on our stomach, and we're gonna gently start adding that relaxed ankle and kick from the hip motion on our front. Check this out.
Now with this drill, we just want to hold on to the wall and we're going to let our feet actually sink down. And when they get down, we're going to just flick our leg from the hip and get it to float back up. We'll let ourselves sink back down and then do it with the other leg. We're just trying to figure out how to kick from the hip and feel propulsion from our ankles here. This is a great drill to ingrain this into our mind.
Now the next thing is we're gonna flip back on our back, but this time we're gonna start feeling that propulsion as we go across the pool. And for some reason, when you go on your back, it's just a lot easier for your legs to feel it. Now you wanna take your kickboard, and I'm gonna use this shark right here because my kickboard's not with me. I'm gonna pretend this is a kickboard, and we're gonna go with just one leg at a time. We're gonna go single leg kicking, focusing on that hip kick, focusing on that floppy ankle, and just trying to make it as simple as possible. We'll do one leg, and then we'll do the other leg. Now we felt the motion moving up and down the pool with just one leg, but before we bring in both legs, I wanna go and do both legs in a vertical kick-like motion. Why? Because again, it just teaches our brain something. We can feel the pressure of the water on both sides of our leg so much easier when we vertical kick. So let's do a little bit of that first.
Now for vertical kicking, ideally you have a deep pool where you don't need to do what I'm about to do. Since my pool is too shallow, I just grab the corner and lift myself up, and I can feel the pressure from both sides of my feet when I'm kicking. Vertical kicking is so huge in teaching the brain how to do it correctly.
So now we've reached the point we're gonna bring both legs into the picture, trying to go across the pool, but there's something very important that you have to pay attention to, and that is your kicking cadence. A lot of times new swimmers, they try to have a real slow kicking cadence, and we're just doing a drill here, and that is really difficult. I do want you to learn how to do it slow, but at first, to get that whip motion and get the propulsion, let's do a drill where we have a fast cadence. Small, fast kicks, and we're just gonna let those ankles fly. We're gonna try to create white water behind us, and this is gonna teach us how to have that whip action.
Now remember with this, we're trying to create that white water behind us, keep small, fast kicks, and just whip those legs. Everything's coming from the hip. We're trying to keep it fast and quick and just generate that white water. This is also another way we can train our neuromuscular side to get it locked into our brain.
Now, after we've done that high cadence kick, now we're gonna attempt the slower kick. Just like when we were on the wall, doing that one motion with each leg, I want you to go back to that mindset right now. And we're gonna try to kick across the board, one kick at a time, just nice and slow.
The key with this slow cadence kick is to just stay relaxed. Don't worry about if your legs start to sink a little bit. We're just gonna kick them back up just like we did when we were on the wall. Stay loose and whip that kick from the hip so that ankle ricochets.
Now, for those of you that have that problem of making yourself way too tired with an over kicking kick when you kick, now we're gonna focus on you a little bit. What you need to first realize is that your body position is off. You probably had stiff, rigid ankles and you were trying to kick like crazy to keep yourself afloat. But the problem is your body position needs to be better so that you float without doing that. So all you have to do is just extend your body to the max and your back half will rise to the top. And then I want you to take that one slow kick and we're gonna put it into your stroke where you're just gonna kick with one arm and then kick with the other arm. And that's called the 2-beat kick.
Having a 2-beat kick is just a relaxing way to swim. Some of you might know the YouTuber Adam Oceanwalker. This is the way he teaches his swimmers to swim. It's a great way to get you to relax and not overkick. The only problem is you don't want to be stuck swimming like this forever because you can't progress to a faster type freestyle. But it's an excellent way to just get the hang of being comfortable in the water.
Now that 2-beat kick that I was just talking about for you that get too tired with kicking, I don't want you to be stuck in that forever. This is just to teach you how to relax when you swim freestyle. Eventually, I want you to learn how to kick in all kinds of ways. 2-beat sometimes, 6-beat when you need it, because if you have that diversity of kick, that just makes you a more versatile swimmer and you can reach higher heights. Don't limit yourself. And guys, if you want to know your true swim potential in this moment, I want you to take my quiz and we'll give you a score to let you know. Look in the comments below, click the link and find out.
Now this mobility routine you can do while watching TV and it pays big dividends. It's so easy. First, I like to just sit down on my ankles, roll back and forth. I've been doing this for a long time, so if you can't do this, just get in this position and go as deep as you can without discomfort. Then I like to sit down and just roll my ankles. Doing it like this just really loosens them up. I go deeper by then manually grabbing the ankle, trying to get a deeper stretch, and then rolling them manually as well. Remember, you're not going past the point of discomfort. After doing that, I find that if I sit back down on my ankles, I can go even deeper and I just roll them a little bit further with the weight of my body. After doing that, I always like to then just see how floppy my ankles are and try to practice that motion that we do in the water. It's great for muscle memory. Simple as that, guys.
Now, if you found this video helpful, I have a whole lot of videos teaching you how to swim faster at freestyle. And one in particular is where I got one of my clients to drop from 210 all the way down to 130 in 6 months. If you want to see that, check out this video. I'm Lukas Siska. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.